in the Garden of Eden, it was actually Edin. All right, and Enlil, he was known as Yahweh. He was known as Satan, the Lord of Eden. Satan, the Lord of Eden. And Eden was an outside laboratory. And in this laboratory, when you read these texts, even some of the apocryphal texts, like the Book of Adam, which was left out of the Bible, you discover that this was a mating ground. So they would start. So what happened first was they began with genetically modified people that were almost like clones. And the information on the cloning technique is at the Temple of Karnak in Africa, in Egypt, where I take people. And so they were making these people, but they couldn't make them fast enough, and these people couldn't have and reproduce on their own. So they got very frustrated. So Isis says, okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna take the egg out of one of the beings and put it in my womb and take it to term. So it says in the text that they literally mixed their genetics with this egg, put it in her womb. So that's now making what we call a zygote in modern technology terms, right? In vitro fertilization, puts it in her womb, takes it to term for 10 months, and then gives birth to the Adamu, which means first man. And there's a cylinder scroll in the British Museum where she's holding up the baby, says, my hands have made it, the first man, Adamu. So that's where we get the first genetically perfected Homo sapien. The point I'm trying to make is, so we have the cloning center, the clones couldn't reproduce enough, and a lot of work was going into making these people. So they came up with Adam. This starts the generations of Isis, the generations of Isis, the Genesis.
Ooh, and Genesis is obviously the first book of the Old Testament.
Yes.
I'm doing the math right now.
So when you say, I can defeat death, aren't you saying I'm God?
I'm saying that the universe speaks in irony.
That's for sure.
And that the story we've told is that God created us, and the actual story may be that we are going to create God.
I just wonder if part of you fears that when you start to say things like we can defeat death, that you won't be smote down by the God of the universe. Do you worry about that?
Not in the least bit. Never crossed my
Well, you're either very brave or very foolish.
This is not about me trying to live forever. This is me trying to answer the most pressing question in existence. What do we do as a species? If death is not inevitable, we can extend our lifespans to some unknown horizon. The meaning-making games we have as a species all change.
Of course.
This moment is that.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and when I started doing this a year ago, or at least the YouTube videos, I've been doing the audio podcast for the last 5 years. But when I started doing this, I did an episode about this funny ass looking dude, Bryan Johnson, right? Now, I don't even have the pictures readily, and I'm not going to Google screenshot them. This weird ass dude claims that he wants to live longer, or at least extend life. Now, the previous video you saw, the brother was breaking down the book of Adam in the apocryphal. Let me just be the first to say, I don't believe in fables and fairy tales and shit, or books written by people of antiquity. They were primitive. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? How are we living in 2024 consorting to scriptures or writings from people that like barely was like had filled out mankind? Just people literally were running around probably with saber-toothed tigers and dinosaurs. I don't believe there were dinosaurs, but that's another issue and another episode for another time. What I will say about this weird ass dude, he wants to live forever. Now, when I did this, he was 45, and now it's a year later, he's 46. And he clearly looks younger, or he clearly looks older than Tucker Carlson. But I thought Tucker Carlson was around my age. I Googled him. That nigga's 55. So, whatever this Bryan Johnson dude is doing, it's like, bro, give it up. What we're supposed to be doing is living in harmony with the animals, not fucking eating them, not polluting the planet, growing vegetation, not packaging food and processing things and processing plants and refining sugars and extracting every goddamn thing from corn. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Like, we're living under the system of white supremacy, which is actually total chaos, where it pollutes the water, it exploits the land, it fucks up the food, it kills the people. Like, these people need to be stopped. I think they're bored at this point. After making billions of dollars, they need to cool out. Go travel the world and live in harmony with it, as opposed to trying to figure out how you can live longer. Bro, all the millions and billions of dollars you got, you are going to die. I don't believe that they'll ever figure out how to extend people's life or even live forever. That's fake news, unless you Dracula. And maybe there's some stuff I missed. So, yeah, there's a weirdo. Like, he's trying to find the meaning. If we don't die, what are we supposed to do? Like I said, live in harmony, you asshole. Stop trying to recreate the wheel. There's too many jackasses there. And it's only the rich people. Like, you got Elon Musk want to go to the moon, bro. Come on, chill out. You want to go to Mars? It's not even a real planet. They put green screens up, did all this photo editing and shit. That's the desert in Arizona. And who the fuck are these people? Like, anybody with a half a brain knows there's no going to outer space. We're surrounded by the Vanderbilt belt, or Van Buren's belt, right? It's a radioactive belt. It's impossible. The radiation to kill you in your astronaut suit. There's no going to Mars. There isn't no outer space. If it is, you can't go there. And you can't live forever. You gotta die. Everything is born, grows, and dies, and decomposes. It's a circle of life. So I'm trying to make this shit into a pentagram. In any event, if you like this episode, you know what to do. And if you disagree with me, leave it in the comments. I want to read it. And all the jackasses that believe that we can time travel or we can relive forever. Like, bro, those are movies. None of that shit's real. Get a grip of reality. In any event, I'm out.
No one's